Hey everybody, this is a video that's going to talk about some tempo operations in Logic. I got a call from a friend, John Crivet, who's the former president of the Audio Engineering Society, who's learning Logic. Just thought I'd put a plug in there that someone like John is into Logic, and he often sits out on the water's edge composing great works of music on his ukulele, and wants to be able to take those songs into Logic without necessarily having too many steps in between, maintain the groove and the essence of his original performance without having to necessarily start over. I mean, certainly there's something to be said for recording in the moment. So I'm going to show you this with the voice memo app, and say that you just recorded it out there with that on your phone. And then you can airdrop that to your computer, which is what I have here, that new recording number 9. But I have to prepare a few things inside Logic first. One of them is I'm going to right click and I'm going to use, or I'm going to customize the control bar and display. And I want to use, in this case, the custom option because it gives me the expanded set. And then I'm going to come here right below the tempo and I'm going to say adapt project tempo. So that brings up our tempo global track, and I can come through now. I'm going to take this from my airdrop and just plop it right out here. It's going to analyze, and I'm going to say show downbeat and tempo. You can see that it gave us a little space here because I didn't start the recording right away. And then it's going to go through and show us all of our analysis lines here. So we could actually come through and see some of these that maybe we need to move around slightly so that they're on the downbeat. So this way I can come through and get an exact custom map of that performance. Now, right now, it's doing it more on the downbeats of the bars. And so you can see over here that it's actually pretty varied. 86.9, which is 87. And it goes around 83.5, 90.9, 92.3 down to 85. It's all over the place. And that's okay if I like the performance. Now, this is just an example. I'm not actually going to play what it is. It's just me singing into the Memo app. But down here, we can actually make some adjustments. So I could, for instance, move the marker over just slightly if I want to. And these are going to really play into when we're doing other things with this. So, for instance, see if I do that, it's going to move all of them, which I don't want to do. Scale selection, just these ones inside. Move the marker, just that one, and set downbeat, or we can move all. So each of these dots change what's happening. The main thing is we want to make sure that this first one is the downbeat. And so, like if I was changing that, that would become the downbeat. We don't want to do that because that first one was the downbeat. But we could set any of those to downbeats, and it's going to, be analyzed in that way. Now, a few other things that we can do. Let's say keep project tempo now, and say I want to set this all to one tempo. So now I just essentially wiped the tempo clean, and it's going to, let's redo it again and undo it, redo it. Redo, undo. So we can actually make some changes to the tempo, and now this will follow the tempo since it's been analyzed and we have that. So we can actually essentially quantize this audio in this way. Of course, we can also do a number of different things here. in terms of flex tempo and follow tempo. Flex time and follow tempo appear in the region properties. So right now they're both turned to off, but follow, let's turn that to on. And then if we wipe that clean, it's going to maintain the tempo. So that's an important step. Okay, so after we have this done, we can add drums, we can add other pieces to the arrangement. This will keep the original groove as it is, or we can change the groove to it. There's really, I mean, it almost becomes MIDI-like in that sense after we've done this. And I think that there's a lot of power in this engine by doing it this way. Of course, we could just bring in an audio file and use different functions that we have here. For instance, we have our beat mapping window, which is very similar to what we did here, except this is the automatic way. We could also splice it up using flex time and move things around. But really, this whole adapt project tempo is just so awesome for this scenario of recording something and then moving it into Logic and then going from there. Okay, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this and found it useful. Tempo stuff in Logic is, I think, one of its really powerful strengths and can do so much. So I hope that you'll be able to use this when it's appropriate.